Dover race just concluded yesterday, and here I am with a bit of a monologue. I will come to this much though. Dover race, from what I saw, it was pretty decent, and I would even say it was better than last year's, because last year's was kind of a bit too mellow for a lot of likings for many fans, including myself. But that last year's race was still good, but this race was even slightly better. And man, did a lot of weird stuff happen this race. Denny Hamlin has a whole new embarrassing trait to his legacy of failure novelty. And do I really even need to say it? He was having a good race all race long, and now 2017 Kyle Busch happened on him. You know, I was looking, he was right to be stoked and give the single lug nut tires a chance, and actually think it would be a large improvement over the 5 lug nut mishaps where one missing lug nut could completely throw your racer out the window. But man, these tire problems have gone berserker and has completely shot everyone in the foot who were very optimistic about those tires. And honestly, most of that is on me, because I kind of should have taken it as a red flag as far back as, yes, I know open wheel cars, stock cars are different beasts. But I still think I should have taken just a slight bit of an inkling that it could be problematic, as far back as Graham Rahal's mishap from the Indy 500. I should have taken just at least a small hint of what problems could be led astray in NASCAR, but now looks like it's becoming more problematic than ever. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but man, someone needs to really beef up those tires, those single lug nut tires, because I didn't expect a whole bunch of barrage of tire penalties, so many crew getting suspensions because they couldn't adequately install new fresh tires onto the vehicles. Just motherfucker, it's become wild ever since the single lug nut was implemented. Oh boy. Kicking on, I will take a 6th place finish out of Kyle Larson after a kind of another bit of a tire mishap with him as well. And unfortunately, with Kyle Larson finishing 6th, Bowman finishing top 5, and Chase Elliott being the winner, hell yeah, this officially leaves William Byron as the outlier, as he will be the only Hendrick driver to not finish in not just the top 10, not just top 15, not just top 20, but just not finish in the top 20. You know, it must be really embarrassing not to be a part of the Good Day crew. It really does suck, which is kind of why I dread either Byron or Bowman winning a championship this season, because I don't want either one of those drivers to be an outlier in the Hendrick gang, where otherwise one of the two drivers would not have a ring as a part of the club. So it's kind of like a go even or go home kind of thing with my mentality, because I always feel bad whenever there's an outlier, a part of the good guy clubs, because it's already kind of thought-provoking enough as it is over the fact that William Byron still has yet to win a race in front of me. Larson's at 3 for me, Bowman's at 2 for me, Chase is only at 1 for me. It would have been 2 for Chase Elliott if Mother Nature wasn't a thing in the autumn race of last year, which would otherwise prompt me to go swing both Bristol Dirt and Talladega. But then again, based off the Mother Nature mishap, and of course me doing a whole bunch of stuff for my brother's birthday, that Dover race for me would have been a moot anyway. So I'm better off just hoping for much better luck with Chase Elliott victories when it comes to 4 out of the 5 upcoming road courses that I'm going to. I still don't think I'm going to be able to make Road America because I'm already barely scraping by with money anyway for a budget. But yeah, with all those strange incidences on the track regarding Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, Cody Ware being a talentless sack of dog shit, Truex spinning out in the back straightaway on the final lap, right, and then the caution comes after Chase Elliott crosses the line. That was definitely one of the more weirder races. Definitely better than last year, but I wouldn't say it's a whole lot. But it was still a pretty good race. Like, a very good race, actually. Definitely a bit of an improvement from the last couple of races at Dover in the Gen 6. I will say this, though. Now that I've gotten through the race, I really gotta mention this. If your tracks do not have stadium lights, whether it be the likes of Pocono, Michigan, Loudon, Dover, and Talladega, run them at noon. You literally have no fucking excuse to do this. Fox, NBC. What harm is it going to do if you could just push it back 3 freaking hours? It didn't trouble you or phase you at all to start them at noon on the rain delay at 12 o'clock on Mondays. What's stopping you on doing it on the Sundays? That makes no fucking sense whatsoever. I don't mind you starting races at 3 p.m. It's just that when you are starting races that late in the noon, especially at tracks that don't have stadium lights, then you guys are basically asking for trouble. You're not saving yourselves time. Especially when that's the time where the race could have ended if they started at 12 o'clock. What's the point? What's the point of starting at noon on a rain-delayed Monday? What is the fucking point? Why go with our recommended proposition after the problem happens? This only wastes money out of so many fans' pockets. As I definitely relate on multiple occasions, both at Dover in 2019 and Talladega last year. Stadium lights could have saved me a big trip. Then again, I still have Mother Nature to thank for gifting me a Ross Chastain victory to my name. And by the way, that Talladega race was pretty fucking awesome to watch. I didn't really care over the fact that there wasn't too many major big ones or that no one flipped over. I was just enjoying myself at the race. A lot of pack racing, a lot of people bobbing and weaving, making bold moves without doing anything completely fucking stupid. Only going single file when it needed to be safe, when it needed to be preserved at an appropriate time. And, well, that's my concise opinion about the Talladega race. I just had an overall fun time and was never really all that bored. And it was definitely my money's worth. But, god damn it. NASCAR, well, okay, I can't blame NASCAR for this one next time because it's mostly the TV channels that need to start at an unnecessarily late time just so they could supposedly have the revenue because there's other stuff going on before NASCAR. Seriously, it's worth starting at noon if it means saving the wallets of so many fans that budgeted so much fucking money just to go to your fucking races. Whether it be on the airfares, rental cars, hotels, race tickets themselves, only for them to be washed away down the fucking sewer. There's... And all of you want to say bullshit excuses saying that there's an airport nearby Dover and Talladega. You know, blow it at your fucking ass. There's One clearly adjacent to fucking Daytona, and they've been racing night races there, even on rain delays, for fucking decades. Say that you have Stockholm Syndrome to ridiculous bullshit problems in NASCAR solvable without saying that you're blatantly a sycophant that is a complete numbskull to any problems that need to be patched up. Seriously. Either install stadium lights at Pocono, Michigan, Loudon. Do I even need to talk about the disaster that happened at Loudon last year, Dover, and Talladega? Or just run at noon. If stadium lights are that much of a major budget. Honestly, y'all are multi-millionaires, multi-billionaires, so why exactly would you think that stadium lights at the track would put a dent in anyone's wallet? There's nothing stopping them. There's nothing rational or reasonable to stop them at all. It's worth installing stadium lights at every possible track or every possible non-road course track if it means saving the wallets of fans that paid hundreds to go to them. Does that make like too much sense for you? What's it gonna take for me to finally get you guys to compute with our recommendations? It's not until the problem actually occurs that you get the memo that 12 p.m. race start times are the better alternative. Like, sorry, but this hassle, all this trouble is not even close to worth it, especially when so many fans have to work the next morning, whether they are away from home or not. And you can't be going around saying bullshit like, oh, but that's not my problem. You know what? It is going to become a problem of yours if they decide to never go to those racetracks ever again, thus plummeting your revenue. It would only shoot you straight into the foot, rake you across the eyes, and bitch slap you across the face with Freddy Krueger's glove. Freddy Krueger's glove. Sorry if I sounded a bit too tongue twister there. It's not good. It is definitely, absolutely going to be your problem if fans swear an oath never to go to those racetracks that aren't safe with stadium lights. So the ultimate joke is going to be on you. You're lucky that you're even becoming equipped with those rain tires at those road courses, just so the NASCAR fans can get the races that they deserve to see in person, and that the NASCAR drivers have worked so hard in preparation to defy all odds against them. Why is this still a problem in 2022? It makes no sense. It makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Nevertheless, this is a bit of a refreshing rant, as all I ever do is rant about NASCAR or SMI's poor decisions, Kyle Busch being a fuckface. Oh yeah, speaking of Kyle Busch, now you guys see what I mean when I tell you that he doesn't care about what an insensitive jackass he is. He doesn't care about the peoples he's hurt. He doesn't care about the peoples he's insulted. He doesn't care about what an ass clown he is. He's only sorry that he has to face consequences of his actions. Haven't I said before that things never change and things are just not worth forgiving this piece of shit about? It's the same cycle over and over and over again. I now officially don't ever want to hear from a single Kyle Busch sycophant that Kyle Larson is a lyricist. Kyle Larson understood the people he's hurt when he said that racial slur. He understood why it was damaging. He understood why it was insensitive and inhumane. And so he worked his ass off to do charity work for the African American community. What has Kyle Busch done ever since he said the R word the first time at Martinsville?
Nothing! Absolutely nothing!
There's no sincerity in his apology. No genuinity within him whatsoever. He's one of the most disingenuous pieces of shit to ever exist in the NASCAR sport. I'm honestly flabbergasted anyone would even come to bat for this piece of shit at this point. But at the same time, the only reason why I would even come to bat for him is because a bigger ass clown than he is officially taking his spot if he doesn't find sponsorship at Joe Gibbs Racing. But that's going to be another topic for a different time. And I don't want you sanctimonious turds desperately trying to ride on your high horse about how you're giving credit where credit is due.
Blow it out your ass!
Kyle Busch is a raving douchebag that will never learn from his stupidity, never learn from his deplorable actions, never learn from what an absolute asshat he's been. Sorry, but he's not worth forgiving. He's not worth at all giving an ounce of credit to, aside from understanding what's good and healthy for the sport, but I digress. Anyways, hell yeah, Chase Elliott. Took him long enough to finally break through at the Oval, but damn, it was worth it, especially at the Monster Mile, no less. Sure, it was definitely difficult, but goddamn, I was waiting and waiting and waiting so fucking long for him to finally break through. For him to finally get that 7th Oval victory of his so it can be a 50-50 on him again. And to finally muster that victory just so Hendrick could have the 2nd consecutive year of all their drivers making the playoffs and having at least one win a season. And was it worth it? Was all those trials and tribulations worth it? Well, honestly, if it's worth it enough for me to no longer mope around about how different courses of action could have won him victories from last year, or some of the first few 10 races of this year, then I say yeah, it is worth it. Just like how it was worth it for my teenager self to wait for so long for Jimmy Johnson to finally win the 200th victory for Hendrick Motorsports after he was screwed on not 1, not 2, but 3 occasions. Martinsville 2011, when Brian Vickers made a weak retaliation on Matt Kenseth only for him to completely destroy his front end, thus sending him into the garage and out of the race after he drove like a jackass all race long, thus ruining Jimmy Johnson's gap, and also ultimately sorry, little flashbacks giving me sickness. Ultimately taking the championship away from Carl Edwards. So yeah, Brian Vickers is an ultimate culprit of how Carl Edwards lost the 2011 championship. And of course, David Runeman staying out when he was having a mechanical problem in the 2012 Martinsville race when he should have fucking pitted. But no, he just decided to ruin the 200th victory for Hendrick Motorsports at Martinsville when Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson, the top dogs of Hendrick Motorsports' legacy, just had to get fucking botched away by Ryan Newman, shoving Clint Boyer into both of them. And if that wasn't already agonizing enough, Newman just had to be a roadblock at Texas Motor Speedway when Jimmy Johnson had a significant enough gap. Then Greg Biffle came and snatched the win from Jimmy Johnson. Felt like it was going to be a winless season or just another surprisingly sluggish season for Jimmy Johnson, career win rise, until he mustered that victory at Darlington. That holy grail 200th victory at Darlington. And then it was Casey Kane at Coca-Cola 600. Then Jimmy won again at the Monster Mile. And then finally won more than his amount in 2011 by winning at a Crown Jewel at the Brickyard 400. I could go on and on about my saga as a Jimmy Johnson fan when I was a teenager, the glorious high school teenage years of me being a big Jimmy Johnson fan, how the teachers and students, even though some of them don't often follow or watch NASCAR as much as I do, always love to break the ice with me back in those days, which only made me really appreciate them more, because I'm surprised that non-racing fans would talk about NASCAR this much with me, since, well, I guess they were really that close to me back then, and I kind of really miss having that sort of environment where people who aren't fans of NASCAR would always want to break the ice with me and always want to constantly talk to me about NASCAR all the fucking time. I miss that. I really do miss that. I really had probably the best high school ever. They were full of awesome, wholesome people. And man, it's shaping up to be another glorious year for Hendrick Motorsports, as they're only one victory away from tying their record from 2002, just for fun fact. Alright, I think I said all I can say, but since you, Chase, are back on the winning radar, please win one more time, not one more time, 2 more times at any of the upcoming 5 road courses. Any will do. Please, please win them. I'm counting on you, Alan Gustafson. And you, Hendrick Motorsports. Don't throw this away. We know the road course racing mojo is still there. Don't let it fade away. That's all I gotta say now. Thank you guys for watching. Spacing out. Keep it safe and metal, Space Metal Forces.